Everything's going just fine until the homeowner drops this bomb on you. My roof is fine. I haven't had any issues. Now, these conversations or objections can occur at the door if you're self-generating leads, canvassing, and door knocking, or even in a sales appointment for both storm and for retail. It might even be that the homeowner let you on the roof. You do your inspection, you come down, you're showing your findings, and they say, hey, my roof's fine, I haven't had any issues. Even for retail, people that are kicking the tires, they want to be replacing their roof at some point, so they're planning ahead. They say, it's fine, I haven't had any issues. Have you heard that one? Of course you had. If you've been in a few appointments, you know that this is one of the most common objections. So here, my friend, is how we are going to overcome this. You know by now that I absolutely love formulas. They provide simple talk tracks for us to follow that apply to anything that we encounter in the field. They're plug and play, just like any formula. That's why I teach my SLAP formula for canvassing at the door. That's why I teach my car park closing formula, which is built upon which is included in my complete closing strategy. There's a link in the description. And my objection handling formula, ARO, acknowledge, reassure, and overcome. So the first thing that we want to do is agree with your homeowner. Yeah, believe it or not, we want to agree with them. I've mentioned this in multiple videos when dealing with objections. If you threw something at me and I immediately try to overcome it, that's confrontational. It's pushy. This is what makes homeowners not trust you, not like you. So if they say my roof is fine, you might say, yeah, it's fine today, but later on you might have issues, right? That's pushy. They know, they're sniffing out like he just wants to make a sale. But instead, first we acknowledge, I understand your roof is fine, you haven't had any issues. Clearly you haven't had any leaks. Acknowledging it, agreeing with them, okay? Then reassure. Now, I completely understand at the same time that if your roof's fine, why would you take action? Why would you do anything if it's fine? This is a completely normal thought. That's reassuring, right? That they're normal, that you understand why it is they're thinking what they're, you know why they're thinking this. Put yourself in their shoes. Okay, so I'm in the homeowner's shoes. My roof is fine. Why in the world would I bother replacing it now if I don't need to? This is what they're thinking. Reassure them. Then we want to overcome. Say, may I give you just some perspective based on my real world experience? And they'll say yes. And now is when I overcome and I try to give them a new frame or a new lens to see the condition of their roof. Now, I'm going to be giving you a few different stories and analogies to use. This is sheerly for educational purposes for you to say, hey, Adam taught me this one piece, how to use the cardiovascular disease analogy. So you can pull that one. I'll teach you that in a second. Or the ball joint analogy, and then I can grab this one. Or the car tire analogy and grab this one. So there's going to be 3 different stories I'm going to be sharing with you. And it's up to you to grab one of those or create your own. But it's nice to have a few different tools in your back pocket because what makes our customers tick might be different. If I'm sitting there working with an elderly homeowner, for example, I might speak or use stories that are more relatable in their life versus, let's say, a guy in his mid-30s or 40s, successful career, beautiful home with a BMW in the driveway. That's going to be a different story, a different example that I might use to him because it's going to resonate more. So let's start with the cardiovascular disease one. Say, Mr. Homeowner, I know this might sound a little outlandish, but it's going to make a good point for you. Okay? So I hear this a lot. My roof is fine. I haven't had any issues. One of 2 things occurs at this point. Either the homeowner who I'm working with decides, hey, I should take advantage of this opportunity to be proactive and get my roof done, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And they do. Or the other one is they say my roof is fine. And they enjoyed working with me. They enjoyed the way I communicated, the way I explained the process. And they say, hey, we're not going to do it now, but I'll call you when we decide to do something. So they don't. And then I get this phone call, and it's usually in the middle of the night, and they're freaking out because all of a sudden they had an issue spring up. And it's almost like cardiovascular disease, but of course without the horror behind it. But many of us think, my health is fine, everything's fine, until one day it's not. And it's been lurking this entire time, but we had no idea. And then all of a sudden, there it is. It's our appointment. It's a symptom. It's shortness of breath. Something came out of nowhere, or seemingly did, when later we find out that this has been something that has been growing, so to speak, for a period of time. And I know that your roof is nowhere as near as serious or relatable as your health or the health of a loved one. But my point is that many of us, the roof is fine, but as the roof ages, as the same thing happens with us humans, things come up and they seem to spring out of nowhere. Okay? I'm going to be adding to these. So that's analogy 1, cardiovascular disease. Let's slide into ball joints from a car. Let's say I've got a homeowner who's got a beautiful BMW up front, or a high mileage vehicle, older one, whatever. He's a car guy, car gal. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, listen, BMW in front, beautiful car, absolutely gorgeous, love it. So, you've got some miles on it. Let's say it needs ball joints. Ball joints are coming up. It's a wear and tear item. But would you agree that your ball joints, even if they're failing, your car is still going to get you from here to there, right? Yeah. So at this point, your car is fine because you haven't had any issues. You haven't noticed anything. But would you also agree that with those ball joints, you're also having alignment issues, which are leading to tire wear issues, which may end up becoming a big serious issue down the road. And if you wait too long, it could become catastrophic and even cause an accident. But right now, it's not an issue. So it's up to us to decide our own threshold of how much we're willing to risk before we do the work. So that's car analogy one, ball joints. All right, now tires. Especially for the guys and gals in the northern climates where we get snow. The southern guys, so snow is this white stuff that falls out of the sky. So many people will comment, oh, you're snow, what are you talking about? Anyway, even rain for the southern folks out there. If your tires are nearing bald, do you wait until you've slid into a tree to replace them, or do you replace them as they reach their wear bar because of a safety issue? Either sliding out of control or worse yet, getting a blowout, going 75 miles an hour on the freeway. No, it is a wear item just like your roof is a wear item. So as it reaches the threshold, we replace them. That's what we do. All right, so we have 3 different stories to break that homeowner's kind of mental mindset that my roof is fine, I haven't had any issues. We agree. By acknowledging, by the way, so we agree with them and acknowledge, we reassure that they're totally normal thinking this, and then we overcome by giving them this story. Got it? Now, as I've mentioned before, and there's a great book called Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff, where he talks about our mammalian brain. Okay, this is like the emotional part of our brain. The youngest part of the human evolved brain makes decisions based on emotion, and then later is going to validate them, meaning I made the right choice using logic or analytical thinking. So first, I want to come into this by using a story that elicits an emotion about their safety, whether it's cardiovascular disease. And if that's too extreme for you, you can save it. You can create your own even, that's fine. Or ball joints, for example, for a car person, or tires. Anyone will relate to that because if they own a house, they've replaced car tires at least a couple times in their life. So these are 3 different stories to elicit the emotion of sudden safety. Now I'm going to swoop in with my analytical or logic to say, your feelings are guiding you in the right direction. You see how this works? So I acknowledge, reassure, overcome, tell the story to get their emotional mindset behind this, and then I'm going to come in with this logic. Mr. Homeowner, a couple of other things just to consider as you make your decision, which, by the way, I'm going to pause myself on the role play and share something. Giving people control and reinforcing their freedom, reinforcing their choice, puts you on the pedestal to become the choice. So educating them and reminding them that it's their choice and it's your job to help them make the best choice allows you to look clearly as the best choice. So don't be afraid that they're going to go call someone else. It's always a risk, but face it. Trust me, I've watched this happen. You will become choice number 1. All right, so say, Mr. Homeowner, I just explained this, but I want to give you just a few more facts to help aid in your decision so you can make the decision that's best for you. Fact number 1, the longer you wait to do your roof, the more risk you run into with things happening. That is a fact. No one can argue that. This isn't sleazy, pushy urgency tactics. This is real talk. If they wait, there's a higher likelihood. Fact number 2, the shingles are not usually the area of concern. You don't get leaks in the middle of the field on a shingle unless there's a shiner or something, but very rarely do you see that. Normally it's a protrusion, pipe jack, a box vent, flashing, something like that. Those items tend to wear at a different rate than the shingles do. Okay? Fact. If there are any issues or leaks that come up, they become really expensive to fix because there could be insulation that's damaged or wet. We have to dry it out for safety, mold, especially in the southern or humid markets. And then if there's any staining, to do it right, you need to repaint the entire ceiling as far as it's connected so it all looks the same, because if it's old, it won't match. And then obviously if there's any damage to floors or furnitures or carpeting, that adds up. So now the longer you wait, the higher the chance of a leak, the higher the chance of costly repairs. And here's one more. The cost of roofing goes up every single year between 3 and 7% minimum. By the way, that's just material that we're seeing. I don't know what the rates you've seen, but every year 3 to 7% material increase. That doesn't account for labor. That doesn't account for the current material and labor shortages. So waiting, you have an increased risk of something happening, increased expense of fixing it, a lot more urgency, and a higher cost that you'll pay, period. It doesn't matter who comes out, you will pay more in the future. This industry is driven by rates being under control that have done nothing but go up. Okay? It's not like gas prices that fluctuate. Roofing prices go one direction, and it's up. So, we've explained the emotional side and reinforced it with the logic, and then we put the nail in the coffin. And it goes like this. As your roof has aged, Mr. Homeowner, obviously these risks, if you decide to do anything, which is entirely your choice, I just want you to be well aware that, reiterate, cost goes up, your risk goes up, and the risk of repairs go up. And then you're in a position that should you need to replace the roof very soon because of an active issue, it may limit your options due to labor material shortages. Most companies are booked out a few weeks at minimum, okay? So besides that, here's the good news. Should you take action now, I want to share with you what those advantages are. Number one is the biggest one. It's going to be the cheapest it will be, period. If you have financing or discounts or anything available, you can mention those because that's another reason to take advantage now. Okay? Number two, you don't have to worry about rates going up because I can give you a great rate today. And then number three, once we do it, your roof for the next X number of years, whatever your labor warranty is, plug it in. Your roof is now covered for the next 7 years. So you literally have nothing to worry about. We own everything that we're putting up there and we stand behind it with our labor warranty and the manufacturer's warranty. So all those risks go out the window, your cost goes down, and you're going to pay less now than you will in the future. So acknowledge, reassure, overcome. Tell a story to break it apart from their roof so we get their emotions involved. And then we validate their feelings with fact. So that, my friends, is how we cover the roof is fine, I haven't had any issues objection. I want to go into 2 more quick stories. And before I do, if you're interested in learning how I facilitate my sales presentations, everything from saying hello with the customer at the door, all the way to leaving with the contingency, doing or contract, doing the presentation, everything. I have a program called my Complete Closing Strategy, built around my car park closing formula. Okay? And inside that, you'll see step-by-step tutorial videos, examples, deep dives, a printable cheat sheet, and separate videos for storm and retail of how to present and overcome these things. So there's a link in the description for that. And it is backed by 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. I stand behind what I do because I want you to succeed. Now, back to this quick example about storm and retail. With storm, some people might still be hesitant on a claim to take action, to get the claim filed, to get the roof done. Now, this is where we want to educate why the damage is covered. Mr. Homeowner, your roof is the most expensive wear item on your home. You were expecting it to last 30 years. Fact. With damage, no matter how small or how big, the lifespan and integrity of the roof has been compromised. Does it mean it's going to leak tomorrow? No, it doesn't. But what it does mean is that the lifespan won't last as long. So if your roof costs $20,000 to replace or $10,000 to replace, you're expecting to do that once every 30 years. Well, now it might be every 20 years you get out of it, or 25 or 15. We don't know the number. That's why the insurance covers it, because it is your most expensive wear item and maintenance item. So for you to say, I don't want to do this, you are knowingly going to be replacing your roof down the road earlier than you anticipated and earlier than you should be. It's that simple. That's why the insurance covers it. So moving forward with this claim, you have literally everything to gain and nothing to lose. That's storm. Let's talk retail. With retail, we can use all those same analogies about price going up, all this stuff, but we want to keep a few things in our back pocket. It's important that we focus on our warranty and service and worry-free mindset that once we do this roof, they have our warranty, the material warranty, and everything. They're all set. Then we want to bring it back to the price. Roofing prices are going up. We've already talked about the increased risks. There's a few other things, a few factors for you to consider by taking action now. As I mentioned, the roof lifespan, actually that's for storm. I don't know why I got wrapped back into that one. Let's go back to retail. So, you want to keep a few tools in your back pocket to get them to take action today. So how do we do it? We provide some incentives. This is a fine line to walk from a sales tactic called urgency. Urgency must be authentic. It must be real. When you push someone into making a decision today, they sniff it out, they feel it. But if you're able to provide some sort of incentive, which can go in a variety of ways, I'll share with you in a moment, it can get them to take action now. So we remind them of the emotional side, we remind them that the rates will go up, and we remind them that today's rates are the lowest that they're going to be because it goes nothing but up. In addition to that, should you decide to move forward with us today or this week, I prefer today myself, but however, whatever time window you want to provide, you can offer a cash discount. $500 off, $1,000 off, whatever the number is for you and your company. And if you're an individual sales rep, it's important that you abide by the company protocol policy and profitability requirements. So you can provide that discount. Money is one avenue. Number two is financing. What if you knock down the financing rate or provide 0% financing or delay their first payment? That's another option or a financial incentive. The third is an upgrade of sorts. Hey, instead of doing our package, our good package, we'll do our best package. Or instead of our good, we'll do our better. Whatever it is, you'll throw in an upgrade of sorts or an extended warranty if you're providing them. So you have price, financing, and or upgrades and upgrades of material and warranty as a way to say, if you do this now, you're going to get all this. So when you recap everything, there's a lot of reasons to take action right now because they're going to save money and have peace of mind and be in a better place and be protected by a warranty. All right? So that's how I overcome the my roof is fine or I haven't had any issues objection. If you'd like more on this or you're looking for, again, strategies to close even more deals and sales appointments, then take a look at my complete closing strategy. Or if you're someone who's looking to generate more sales and you say, hey, I'm closing really well, I just need more business and I need to turn one job into as many as I can, you may want to look at my complete sales strategy. So all the links are in the description below. And if you have any questions, email me, adam@roofstrategist.com. Now, back to you. I hope that on your very next sales appointment, you are armed with the formula you need to overcome my roof is fine or I haven't had any issues for both storm and retail. Acknowledge, reassure, overcome. Then tell a story to break into their emotional side about how these things just spring up and the risks that arise when they wait. And then we're going to validate that with fact. All right? Explaining. Longer they wait, the risk goes up. When risk goes up, cost goes up. Material rates go up. All right? All of these things are going to stack together to a powerful argument to help you, instead of tucking your tail and walking away, to win the business. So do this on your next sales appointment. All right, if you're new here, click here to get a free copy of my Pitch Like a Pro Roofing Sales Training video library. It's every video I've ever done, organized by category. And over here to continue watching a playlist on overcoming objections. I'll see you on the next one.